Patch the core. We will hold off any foes.
Tate versus Rousey. Oh man, I heard about the Diaz GSP thing. If they pull that off, that might be the super fight that they're talking about. That Dana said they're making. I think that might be it.
Now, see if you can beat me.
That would be absolutely insane. And they fought once before too. So, I mean, that's the insanity of that, is that Nick doesn't stand a chance against GSP. I mean, seriously. I mean, that he's just gonna... They could probably get Ronda back for that much money. It's not like she's out of shape, you know, she stays kinda in shape for wrestling. Oh, I know. I seen a picture of Nick though. He did take off that weight that he had. He must have started doing like, you know, running or something again because he's back to being thin when I've seen a picture of him lately. I mean, the Diaz brothers basically get paid to get their asses whipped. And I know everybody loves them, but
Everyone into the space bridge to Cybertron.
yeah, that's facts. But that's what they are.
You stay
They're
here and burden the Autobots with your incompetence.
you know, popular fighters that are popular whether they win or lose, but like they're not gonna beat many people. Like that's why it was so crazy when Nate actually beat Connor. You know what I mean? But look what happened in the second fight. Connor just beat the shit out of him. So I think Nate finds ways to get lucky, like he did with Tony. But they're human punching bags, and not only that, you got to pay them good money. How old is GSP? Like 40? I mean, I'll really be surprised if GSP comes back because he's always said, like, I listened to all of his interviews and all that, and like he's always saying, uh, yeah, he's always saying that he's done with that and he doesn't miss the like stress of having to do it. And it's not like he needs money. GSP doesn't need another dime from anybody for the rest of his life, so it would have to be something that really got him up and going. So I would be really hella surprised if GSP come back. I'd be really surprised if Rhonda came back too. Because if Rhonda comes back and then she gets beat by Tate, I mean, that just tarnishes her more, and people don't even give her the credit that there wouldn't even be women's MMA. Well, yeah, see, that would be awesome, but there's no way. Khabib's not going to come back. Yeah, there's no way Khabib comes back. And man, I know I could see GSP doing like the invitationals, the wrestling stuff. I bet you he would like to do that, but man, I can't imagine what they could offer to GSP to get him to, because think about it, for GSP, if he comes back and loses to a Nick Diaz that just was getting the shit beat out of him in his last fight against Robbie Lawler, and I mean, yeah, and then Khabib, yeah, he's not, the risk is not good enough for the reward in those things. And GSP's sneaky, man. You know that he wanted to fight Bisping because Bisping told him before anybody else knew that he was actually blind in his eye, but they're in different weight classes, so he didn't think that it would ever come back. But like, that's why GSP threw the left hook and kept throwing it. You'll see if you watch that fight again, you'll see him. He keeps throwing the left hook really hard, and because they knew he was going to get Bisping on his blind side. So that's some kind of sneaky shit. Yeah, that always sucks to take that first L. Sean Brady looked good. Man, I gotta tell you, I thought that fight night, that card was actually, although my picks, I did terrible. I think I only picked like 3 or 4 right the whole night. I thought GSP was right-handed. Bisping's definitely, he fights definitely a lot of southpaw. Oh, left hook Larry. I mean, out of all the fighters, Bisping has to be like one of the most G. I mean, I cannot believe that he with one fucking eye somehow came back. He should have just ended up eventually retiring. Huh. I've seen GSP fight in both stances a lot. I think it depends on what he's gonna do. If he's gonna throw a kick, I've seen him switch stances. He's such a good martial artist. I mean, he could fight either way. It'd be just as like another fighter that did that was my first favorite fighter was Rich Franklin, and he was right-handed, but he fought southpaw for whatever reason to make his jabs a lot harder. And yeah, he did some of his best knockouts throwing his left hand from. Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. Oh, Diaz bros are right-handed southpaws. Yeah, that's some people do that. I actually got reprimanded for it when I was training back in like 2005 because Rich Franklin did it. I was like, okay, I'll fight southpaw, and it'll cause my jabs to be uh, really hard because it'll be my power hand. And then the guy that trained me, Jack Shepard, he's like, what are you right-handed? I said, yeah, and he like took my shoulders and like moved me, tried to make me fight from orthodox because I was right-handed, but originally I was trying to fight southpaw. Exactly. He shouldn't have like been so like. I guess he was just wanting me to make sure I had the basics down pat before I got going, like doing something crazy. Yeah, you know why he does that? It's because he's a wrestler. A lot of wrestlers do that too, because then they can drop their knee quickly, without having to take that extra the step. You just go straight down. Dude, isn't it so crazy that like Matt Hughes was so fucking tough that he got hit by a fucking train and he didn't die? That shit still blows my mind. I mean, it fucked him up, but anybody else, normal person, would get hit by a train and you're done for. I seen an awesome picture that like somehow Showtime, or maybe it was the last damn, I forget what it was called, not Bellator, but the last one of these other things. They had like Chuck Liddell. um it was a picture with like Gun and like all these old like the elite fighters from like say 2002 to 2006 or 7, like that really changed it all. Somehow Scott Coker got them all together for a picture, and it was pretty fucking epic. You'll have to look it up, but yeah, it was like all like Nogueras I think were in it. They were maybe feeding carrots to buses. Yeah, wouldn't it have been so cool to be at that dinner table? They all eat dinner and you get to, yeah, feeding a bus to a carrot to a bus. I gotta go take a leak. I'll be right back. Of course my controller's dying. Get the other controller. Got the other controller. Yeah, that is pretty funny. There's definitely a path for him to do that, though. Yeah, you know what's crazy is if you go back and watch Chandler fight in Bellator, he does have a high fight IQ, but the problem is he wants to be exciting at all costs. Even if he loses, he wants to cement his legacy as somebody that came to just throw down every time and wanted to make it exciting for the fans above maybe taking the best route to get a title or something like that. But I mean, crazier things have happened than Chandler somehow starching Connor and something happening and then getting a oh my gosh.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I definitely, I wish I had wrestled too, like, that's why I got my son, and, you know, he's only 5. He's gonna be 6 in a couple months, but just the mentality of a kid being able to like go to practice and try really hard and bite down and do as hard as you can. Try to give him that. Yeah, I want to teach Roman how to be not like a hold somebody down type wrestler, but like, remember when DC would like kept picking people up in the air and flopping them on their head? He did it like a couple times to a couple different heavyweights. I know he did it to Dan Henderson, and he did it to somebody else. I like that type of wrestling, like wrestling to throw you down so I can beat you in the head with my fists, you know. But that like Dagestani wrestling is like, I'm gonna take you down and submit you. You know what I mean? The win is the most important thing for them, kind of like the opposite of Chandler. Chandler's main goal is to either knock somebody out or get knocked out. Which, I mean, hey, I gotta respect him for that, because he is fighting, like, always gonna be fighting one of the top 5 best fighters in the world, you know? So, it's no easy task. Yeah, I think that's what made Khabib so dangerous. It taking you down and getting an arm triangle, or, you know, they're so strong that they will get a submission out of you, most likely. The only way to beat Khabib or Islam really is to knock them out with a lucky shot, just like that's the only way Islam's ever lost. He got flash knockout. You got to do that. I mean, also, I think Khabib admitted in an interview that Conor hit him harder than anybody else that he's ever fought. Dude, have you ever heard Bisping talk about how when he was fighting Chael, they were getting up from the ground and like Chael hit him with a little uppercut, and then Bisping said all of a sudden he was like riding a bike down a path on a beautiful day, and there was like flowers and butterflies and shit, and he was like in the field, you know, just like, that shit is crazy. Yeah, what's crazy is Khabib did exactly what everybody knew he was going to do. You know what I mean? There was no way to stop it. Conor actually did do a good job the first round of, he actually stuffed some of his takedowns and stuff, and I was impressed, but you can only hold them off for so long. Their endurance is too much. Switch controllers. Yeah, man, he almost had it. I mean, can you imagine what Conor, how big he would be now if he had actually knocked Khabib out? I mean, holy shit. Because of his losses, like Conor, that's the problem with fighting after you do really good. Like, even GSP knows this, and that's why he doesn't take a lot of fights, because if you keep taking fights that aren't going to offer you anything, like, and then, like, you have 5 fights like Conor did and you only win 2 of them, it kind of tarnishes you a little bit, you know? But I do know Khabib's record was padded as fuck. Okay, a bunch of those wins are like not very high level. Yeah, to do that with Khabib, man, it shows Conor really is amazing. I doubt he's amazing anymore. You know what I mean? It's impossible to have that, like, you know, that fire he had when he was poor, and he's getting a fight, and he's just fired up, just young and full of testosterone, like, that. He has a Lamborghini yacht, for crying out loud. There's no way he's got the same dog in him that he had. No way. I thought Nate should come back and fight Connor. That's what I thought the fight should be.
Shockwave, you cannot control plasma energy.
We will control the plasma energy.
If you can live on a yacht all the time, and you know you have to have like a chef on board, you have to have, you know, if you're there all the time, you gotta have multiple chefs, all the... Oh, that sucks. Dude, I mean, you're so rich. There's no way. If you're just living on your Lambo yacht, you're not... Yeah, you just... There's no way he's got the dog in him. No way. I think that shit's crazy that he's still with, yeah, on PS4. Controller's dying. Yeah, you know what's crazy is she had all those kids for him and he still ain't marrying her. Like, what do you think that is? Like, she's just like, whatever, because, like, he doesn't want to give her a chance to have... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's pretty shitty, I think, you know? It's like him saying, no, I'm not going to split this with you. You know, you're just going to have to depend on me to give it to you.
The plasma core will save Cybertron, not doom it.
Yeah, you'd think that they would. I can't believe he didn't marry her. Yeah, exactly. And he's got, you know, $200 million. Oh my gosh, if she gets 100, you still have $100 million. Like,
Cyberform populated worlds.
Decepticon lies.
Once the cyberforming starts, I don't know how we can stop it. We can't just give up.
it's not like she would ever take everything from him anyway.
To me, Bumblebee.
He'll marry her when he's done, like, when he's got all the bang and the strange out of his blood, out of his system, then he'll marry her.
Operational and already doing its work.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
In less than one Earth day, there will be no more Earth days.
Right, yeah. When he's done doing that, or he catches like an STD or something, he'll tell, you know, tell D he's ready to settle down or something. Maybe she's okay with it, and they're just crazy ass people, you know. Yeah, she could be too, you know what I mean? Little Irish bastard, little shit. Connor's like one of the worst people to get rich. You know those people that if they get rich, it's like the worst a type of person to get rich? Yeah, that's definitely Connor.
I think I see what we can make with these.
Call them Lucky Charms. I love that. What was that? Cowboy Cerrone called him that.
All right, got it. Sometimes I impress myself. Fascinating. Let me see. This is legendary. All right, got it.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes I impress myself.
Sometimes the other type of people win, you know what I mean?
I think I see what we can make with these. Looks like a dud. It happens. All right, got it.
It's crazy that some people that have nothing and then get money become more greedy as they get more money, but some people just become more generous the more money they get. It's crazy how that works with different people.
Fascinating. Let me see. Sometimes I impress myself. I think I see what we can make with these. This is legendary.
All right. Luckily, we know there is some very good people out there that ended up rich. You just gotta. There's less people trying to be good people, you know.
Fascinating. Let me see. This is legendary. I think I see what we can make with these. Looks like a dud. It happens. Fascinating. Let me see. Sometimes I impress myself. I think I see what we can make with these.
Mm-hmm.
This is legendary.
It's like they can't get, once you get past a certain type of rich, you immediately become a weirdo.
You don't have to do. Fascinating. Let me see. Sometimes I impress myself. I think I see what we can make with these. This is legendary.
Yeah, I don't need to be rich if I could just start a good business that is profitable, you know, that my family can keep doing and stuff like that. That would be awesome.
Sometimes I impress myself.
Most of all, if I could advance the kingdom of heaven, kingdom of Jesus Christ. I mean, figuring out how to do that's probably the most important thing you can do with your life.
Fascinating. Let me see. Sometimes I impress myself. I think I see what we can make with these. This is legendary.
Man, I'm trying to get an advanced jump and I cannot get it. Yeah, and I can live comfortably, like, it doesn't even take a lot for me to live comfortably. Instead of being rich, I would rather live comfortably and not have so much, but be able to help other people that might not have anything. And when you got nothing, you know, a little bit of help goes a long way.
The plasma core is in overdrive, and it's powering the Insecticons. We've got to find a way to shut it down. Too late! The core rupture is distorting it! Shoddy Constructicon repair has failed! The leak is causing a gravitational anomaly that's sucking us in!
Got to roll for it.
Yeah, I like helping people. Just because I've had
Optimus, the core is
so
going
little
critical.
for,
It's
you
gonna
know,
keep on
in my
pumping
life
out
that,
more
yeah, I
and more
just
power
like
until
the,
it blows.
How bad?
if I can just help somebody get a leg up, you know, a lot of the time people do need to like work their way out of a situation because it changes you a little bit, so you won't, you know, just like a cheeseburger you earn is like better than a free one, they say, you know. It tastes better because you earned it. So people do need to have that in their life, but helping somebody, if somebody's like falling all the way down, helping them on their feet could, you know, give them the hope and drive they need to make it back out and turn it around. Yep, you just deal with what you got. I mean, hell, I remember when we were homeless, I would still, you know, really poor people are way more generous with their little bit they have than a lot of rich people. There are some generous, wealthy people, but it never ceased to amaze me how everybody would have just so little and then put everything together to be able to, you know, make a meal or something like that. My fucking dog's outside. Outside, Bonnie. Oh, you were outside. Shit. I forget she was outside. Exactly. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that there are some wealthy people out there that are helping. I'm sure Elon Musk gives hella money to charities. Yeah, I don't think very many people do know them. They do exist out there somewhere. Yeah, it'd be awesome if I got to, like, start a charity of some sort one day. And it's just, like, get to help people every day. Yeah, we get that algorithm. Probably not many rich people on YouTube, though. They probably are, like, doing stuff, you know what I mean? They probably never have time to watch a YouTube video. Always, like, playing golf or some shit like that. A lot of rich people are, like, hella into sports and stuff like that. One thing, you'll find rich people They all seem to stay busy. You know what I mean? For the most part, anyway. A lot of them do. Like, I bet you Elon Musk barely ever sleeps in some house he owns. It's probably always in an office or something like that at Tesla. Gotta have money to make money though, but yeah, I'm definitely like, I was thinking about opening up a dispensary because like, now oh my gosh. Now more people are like looking at it for its medicinal use instead of looking at it like it's drugs or something. So I was thinking about doing that because I gotta start a business, you know what I mean? I don't want to just get money and then slowly spend it all and then be like, oh shit, and then be like 48 and starting to sell off like my comics or something because I didn't invest or something like that. So hopefully the Lord will bless me with a good idea. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's so rich though, I think it doesn't even make sense. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. One thing I know I could really love being in every day is if I owned like a high-end hobby shop with like masterpiece Transformers, Gundams, paints, you know, all like basically Hobby Lobby, but I need to send him an email, tell him to hook me up with some money. Yeah, it's too much money for one person. Wouldn't it be crazy if Elon ends up, after he like puts the Neuralink in his brain, and he ends up being the Antichrist or some shit? So the Neuralink, I bet you it'll change you or something like that. Change your DNA so you're not human anymore. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, opening a shop. Because I could just be in that store every day. Like, I love being in the hobby shop. I love just being in Hobby Lobby and just looking at all the cool shit. I could do that all day. And I don't think there's any really good stores like that in like the area that I'm from.
It is no longer operational.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I definitely want it to be like hobby related, like the best airbrushes and stuff like that. Like I want to be able to, people to be able to get like all the good, like the expensive paint, you know. I was telling Jess I thought she should open a like a high-end place where women like get high-end makeup, high-end like facial creams and like stuff like that. I told her that's what it was a good idea, like where the place where we're from, there's no like really high-end store for the rich people. It's just like Target, Walmart and all that stuff.
This is getting hot.
Just a little longer.
So I was like, yeah, if she could open that business and I could open my business, that would just be so awesome.
I could use some assistance.
Yep. Dude, my controllers are getting sticky. I can't believe that I got to... See how it just did that? My, controllers are getting old. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at that. I actually help run a huge eBay, thrift store, vintage eBay site for work. Yeah, the PS5 is definitely a must. I'm definitely getting one at tax time.
All of you, protect Wheeljack. Leave the claw to me. Oh, I bet you do hear that a lot. I'm hoping these fools give me my money before tax time. We're also filling out a home loan application for young, poor people that are married. Supposed to. So if we could get that, that would be awesome. Yeah, it is. Missouri's pretty. There's a lot worse places. Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely one of the areas we were talking about going. I have family up in Kansas City area, and so definitely been mentioning that to my wife. At least gave me a rare weapon. Yeah, no shit. Now if I move to anywhere, it'll be only to Florida. Yeah, and also the place will be riddled with crime.
I've got the sentry gun.
Got it. Yep, Democrat states are hellholes. Absolute trash. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, like, what the hell is the point of that? Of these Democrat policies that... And then they're, like, so blatantly crooked politicians, like fucking Gavin Newsom, like, cleaning up the shit off the streets in San Francisco in 1 week. But they claim they couldn't do it for the past 8 years. They couldn't do it, but as soon as the Chinese Communist Party leaders come in, oh, then, nope, we're cleaning these streets up. Pieces of shit. Some people just get too, whenever they get power, man, it's, that's like the power they got with the COVID lockdowns. I knew that they weren't going to want to give that up very easily. You know, they're going to want to hold on to that power as long as possible. When evil people get power, man, they will do anything to hold on to it. I mean, just look at the Clintons. What we need is to go back to the foundations this country was based on that made it great, and those are biblical foundations. You people can believe whatever they want, but they can't deny that the biblical principles that this country was founded upon, that all men are created equal and under God. The further you get from that, hey, what's up, Jason? The shittier it's gonna get. Yeah, I think that the test didn't go as well. Like, I think that there was a test too, but I think they were surprised at how quick people got fed up with it and were like, no. Jason in the hizzy. Yep. That's why we must help and do whatever we can to advance his kingdom. Oh yeah, I know there were Freemasons in there, but they've been infiltrated in anything, but the core of the group of the men were still Christian. And besides, I think the Freemasons back then, now it's a more like evil secret thing, but I think back then it wasn't quite as nefarious. It just became, once they got more and more people and more power, you know, of course it's going to end up some satanic thing. Yeah, the Freemasons are crazy shit. There's so many absolutely psychotic people in the world. It's just never ceases to amaze me. I wonder how much like inbreeding has went on in those families because they don't want their wealth, which is the craziest shit. When you have that much money and you're worried about somebody else being a little wealthy too, that's just crazy. The greed of these people is just immeasurable. But when that's your whole existence is money and you have nothing, no eternal values and no eternal mind in hand, all you got is your money. And so that's why these rich people fear death all day long. You know, it literally, they're a prison to their fear of death. Because all their value up for themselves and everything is held up in how much is in their bank account, how many this they have, what people are treating them like, you know, a pompous, you know. It's crazy. Yeah, it's true, but we need to be, that's why we need to be lights in the evil world. What do you mean by that? Another autumn? You know, because the Bible does say that until the very end there will be summer, spring, winter, and fall, and that the seasons will go on, and it will be like that up until the very last end, you know. But if you're talking about we don't have much time, yeah, I pray every day. I'm like, I'm sure we're, you know, rapture or something will happen soon. That's why I always pray. You gotta always pray that you're not found in shame when Jesus returns, but eagerly awaiting him. Yeah. Yeah, because we're not appointed under wrath. Uh-oh. Hold on, I gotta go get the baby. Hand him to my wife. Yeah, that's crazy when people say what day they think we're gonna get raptured, when Jesus like made it clear that him and not the angels in heaven and not even him know the day or the hour. And then people are like, oh, it's gonna happen on this day. I mean, you're just trying to make yourself look like a fool. Yeah, well, some say 3.5 years. That I have only looked into it, I mean, quite a bit, but like some people think it'll be 3.5 years that we're here, and then the next 3.5 years is the bad years, but I mean, how it talks about the Bible was in Sodom and Gomorrah, you can see that exact same, you know, the exact same thing is happening. You get like dudes butt naked basically with fake tits walking around in parades, and little kids like right there. It's absolutely insane. Yeah. I think that like it's possible that like I don't know how this that Satan believes he can win, or maybe he's just empowering other beings that think they can beat God, you know, but they probably are aware that the rapture, you know, and they're already probably making the lies and stuff to spin that all these people disappearing. But think about how the world hates Jesus. So like I think
they'll say something like aliens took us all away, and a lot of people will probably be glad. They'll probably throw parties and dance in the street if all of a sudden all the Christians are gone tomorrow. The you know, it won't be like, there'll be some people that are like, oh, my loved ones are gone, and they'll come to Christ because of it. But a lot of the world, they'll just be, they'll hope that aliens did come and kill us all. Is what I think there'll be a lot of parties and stuff after it calms down, because I'm sure, like, right when it happens, it's gonna throw the world into chaos. That'll probably be just the exact time that a leader can step up and bring the whole world together, when everything's an absolute insanity, because a billion people or something, or however many hundreds of millions of people just disappeared. Probably like a tenth of all the people. Like the days of Noah. We got to remember that the scripture that says, and the light shone in the darkness, and the darkness could not comprehend it. Some translations say overcome, that the light shone in the darkness, and the darkness could not overcome it. And we got to remember that when we're living in this evil world. You love God, the light of love, the love of God is in you. And yeah, fake aliens for sure will be used. Yep, and they have a whole story planned out about how they came from this planet. They came from far away, when really they probably came from the center of the earth, like down in the Antarctica area. And then they'll just say, oh yeah, we came from space, we seeded your planet millions of years ago, and now it's time for you guys to go to the next level of your evolution. We just got to get rid of all the undesirables, or and that's what they'll call us, the undesirables. All because we're gonna say that something isn't right. I mean, isn't that just insanity, that these people will hate you so much, and just because you say something isn't right? Yeah. I can't believe that people are so brainwashed that they just can't really give up the globe, that they could be lied to. You know what I mean? That you could be lied to, and the earth actually be flat, and that they know this, and that they're sitting there perpetuating this lie, because Jesus said it would be a great deception that could fool even the elect if possible. Now, I don't think that it is possible to fool the elect, but it's definitely, yeah. See, Satan can play the long game, because the first thing you have to do to get the whole alien thing is you have to brainwash everybody for 100 years, telling them that we live on a ball out in the middle of space floating, and there's all these other balls, and the lie is so complex and drawn out. Like, Satan's good at that, man, at making a long lie, and fooling people with it, and playing the long game, like centuries of long game. I know, right? And you could have the proof right in front of them, like, look, here's a camera that went up into the sky. It doesn't have a fisheye lens, so this is just what you would see if you went up into the sky this high. I guarantee you that's what they see when they go on Bezos' rockets shaped like a wiener. they probably are like have to sign a thing saying that they will not speak about what they see. I think a lot of Christians are deceived, but in the end, I don't think it'll be held against them because it's a deception, you know? Oh, I love talking about this stuff because I've been, you know, studying the Bible and all these things pretty seriously for about, I don't know, 10 years, maybe 13 or 14 years. Well, see, the universe could be older than that, but our creation started like the 6,000 years ago. But, I mean, we don't know when it says that God was hovering above the face of the deep. The original language also, the word used for the deep is the word that they would use for like if a hurricane came through and destroyed everything in the land, what you would call that land, like ransacked, destroyed land. So, I mean, there may have been another creation before ours, before God was hovering over the face of the deep and then made man in his image. There could have been, who knows what kind of creation. I mean, God's a creator, so, I mean, I guarantee you there's like, we'll find out about so many creations when we get to the new heaven and new earth. Yeah, I don't know about billions of years old. I think a lot of the time that's so crazy when they say something like, okay, the dinosaur lived between 60 million and 100 million years ago. It's like, what the hell, dude? And they're acting like a 40 million year thing. It could be this way or that way 40 million years. It's so crazy that people just believe that. Yeah, I'm glad you're here chatting with us. All kicking it, hanging out. Can't believe that my Wi-Fi hasn't, or YouTube, one or the other, hadn't kicked me off. I believe it was literal night and days because it says, and then there was day and night, and this was the first day. I think that's absolutely insanity for people to look at that and some say it was 1,000 years, like because of the one scripture that says there is another person lurking. Hello, another person. Yeah, some people say because of the scripture that says 1,000 years or to a day and a day and 1,000 years, they take that out of context and then try to make it the, like, God does teach in parables, but he doesn't like necessarily talk in confusing code to us. You know, he'll tell us exactly what it is. A day. It is a day. It's not some secret code for 1,000 years. You know, he does teach us in parables, but that's a teaching technique to help people understand. That's not like, you know, they can be taken out of context so easily. I believe it literally was, he created everything in the 6 days and probably just hung out with Adam and chilled on the 7th, you know, because he looked at creation and he saw it was good.
Yeah, it does make sense that we gotta remember that he says that his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are above our ways. So, like, probably whatever we think God would do, that's probably like not. We like literally have to depend on the Word of God to let us know what He's like, because people are like their own. It's crazy that God would choose to make us and stuff like that, being such a creature that could just so easily turn against. I also think that, not that our translations are wrong, but when I'm studying like the old, when I'm reading the, like, going through and checking out what like the original Greek or Hebrew, like there is some play in like those little areas, of how they can interpret a word. Exactly. And your computer doesn't love you, There's no relationship. It just does what you tell it. I cannot believe this thing is 1300 power. Holy shit. Holy crapola. Yeah, I don't think we were supposed to originally know. God's gotta have some kind of plan. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. We can't. Yeah, that's one of the first things whenever God said, "Where are you at?" to Adam, which he knew where he was at, but he just wanted to see what he would say, I'm sure. And he said, "I hid myself because I was naked." And he's like, "How do you know you're naked?" You know what I mean? He shouldn't. I do myself think that the Bible's mostly literal. I know there is parables and there's also, prophetic things that are spoken of